Hello, welcome back to Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 5. This is a really quick scene. There's not a lot going on, but just to kind of recap, what has happened is Romeo and Juliet met. They fell in love. They promised their love to each other at night when Romeo was below her balcony, and she basically proposed to Romeo. After Romeo left, he went straight to Friar Lawrence's to get his approval. He agreed to marry them because it will end the feud. And Juliet sent a messenger to Romeo. Romeo hung out with Mercutio and Benvolio for a little bit. We found out that Tybalt has challenged Romeo to a duel, which they did not tell Romeo about. So that's kind of interesting. Benvolio and Mercutio took off. Romeo talked to Juliet's messenger, who was the nurse, and the plan was for Juliet to make an excuse to go to Friar Lawrence's, and there she would meet Romeo and they would get married. The nurse went and got a ladder, which tonight Juliet will lower from her window and Romeo will be able to climb up and have their honeymoon. That's the plan. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now, this whole time, Juliet has been home alone by herself, wondering what Romeo says. She doesn't know if Romeo is going to drop her or want to marry her. So she wants the news. That's what this scene is. And the scene is broken down into three parts. Her soliloquy at the start. The nurse is teasing Juliet by not telling her the news, and then she gets the news and runs off to Friar Lawrence's. Okay? So let's look at that soliloquy. She's waiting. And that's what her soliloquy is all about. She's waiting to hear about what that news is. She's talking about how long it's taking to wait. The clock struck 9 in the morning when she sent the nurse, and it's now noon. It's been 3 hours. This should not have taken so long, and she wants to get this news. We have a couple allusions to Cupid, right? She wishes that Romeo's news would come on Cupid's wings, right? Cupid is for lovers, and she wants this news to be really quick. She wants to know now. She's been waiting for 3 hours. And then the nurse shows up, and she tells Peter to be gone. This news is just between her and the nurse. The nurse is the only confidant that Juliet has. Nurse is the only friend who knows what Juliet is thinking. That's going to be important later. And so she asks the nurse, "Now, good sweet nurse," she's wanting to ask what it is. "Well, why are you looking so sad?" The nurse has put on a sour face, as if something is wrong, as if something is not good. She's just teasing with Juliet because she knows Juliet wants to know. Have you ever done this? Have you ever not told somebody something they wanted to know, right? That's all the nurse is doing here. And this is good fun. It's nice dramatic irony. We know what the answer is. Juliet doesn't. So it's kind of interesting for us. The nurse tells her, I'm tired. I don't need to, just give me a chance to catch my breath. Oh, I'm so out of breath, I can't tell you anything. I like that line, especially when Juliet says, "How art thou out of breath, when thou hast the breath to tell me that they're out of breath?" It's like, how can you be so tired when you've got the strength to tell me you're tired? So the nurse is just teasing her, right? And the nurse starts talking about Romeo, and then she mentions dinner. She talks about Romeo, and then she asks about Mom. Her bones are aching, and she just draws it on. Okay, that's what the nurse does. in a lot of this play is she just draws things out. And she's a comic figure, and it's kind of funny how she's treating Juliet here. Basically, she tells Juliet to do her own errands, and then Juliet really gets mad, right? And at that point, when Juliet is really kind of angry, and she shows that anger, the nurse kind of tells her what's going on. Oh, you're so hot. Is this the poultice from my aching bones? Is this what I get for doing all of your things? You to be angry? And then the nurse asks Juliet, do you have leave to go to Shrift today? Shrift is confession. Can you go to confession? Juliet's like, yes. Then the nurse says, hurry up to Friar Lawrence's cell. There you will find a husband to make you a wife. Romeo will meet you at Friar Lawrence's, and there you can get married. So that's happened. Juliet, she starts blushing, and she's ready to go. And in one of the few times in this play, the nurse rhymes, and it's kind of an inappropriate rhyme. I don't know if you caught this or not. So the nurse is telling her what the plans are. You go to the church. I must another way to get the ladder, by which your love must climb a bird's nest as soon as it's dark. So your lover bird is going to climb up into your room with this ladder. Now I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but soon you shall bear the burden, soon at night. I'm doing all this work for you, but tonight the work's going to be done to you. You're going to carry the burden. It's making fun of Juliet basically going to have sex on a wedding night, is what that is all about. And so she makes this inappropriate joke, and it's one of the few times the nurse rhymes in this entire play. So I just wanted to call that out to you. Read the scene again. It doesn't take long. Notice that the nurse is just making fun of Juliet. Have a great day.